Hello, and welcome to Stretching the Word. I'm your host, Sister Valerie, and not today, devil, just not this year. This week, so far we have discussed God as being our supplier of water and food. Today, we're going to talk about Him supplying clothing. You can thank Adam for that, because until then, there was no need for clothing. But now, it's mandatory, more or less, in most places. So we're going to talk about how God supplies clothing. So let's go to Matthew's, the 6th chapter. That's Matthew's chapter 6. I'm going to be reading the BBE version today. And I want to start at verse number 25. That's Matthew, the 6th chapter, verse 25. And this is Jesus talking. And he says, "So I say to you, take no thought for your life about food or drink." We discussed the drink and the food. "Or about clothing for your body. Is not life more than food, and the body more than its clothing?" Now, jump down to verse 28. And it says, "And why are you troubled about clothing? See the flowers of the field, how they come up. They do not work. They make no thread. But I say to you that even Solomon, in all of his glory, was not clothed like one of these. But if God gives such clothing to the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is put into the oven, will he not much more give you clothing?" And then it says, "O ye of little faith," which means we have to believe God for the basics. If you can't believe him for the basics, how can you believe him for the extraordinary things? God will supply the basic needs. And we know, we've read about Solomon and how he was one of the best dressed, as we would say, in this day and time. So if God did all of that, if he does that for the flowers, sometimes we just look at the flowers in the field and we be like, "Oh man, they're so beautiful. They're so pretty. Oh, the colors are so vibrant." And I know that we all like to look good. So there is nothing too hard for God. He will give you the finest clothing. But don't worry about being dressed on the outside. Let God dress you from the inside out. Let him make you clean on the inside. Let him make you beautiful on the inside. And it will show on the outside, as well as he will give you that natural clothing. And then it says, "With food and raiment, therewith be content." So if you have food and if you have clothing, let's not moan, groan, and complain because it may not be steak every day, or we may not be able to wear the quote unquote name brands of everything. Let's just be grateful for what we do have, because unfortunately, there is someone that does not even have what you have.